Howdy ho, neighbor.
Richard.
Oh,
How are
you
you?
putz. You fucking dog.
What? What's wrong, Richard? Something the matter?
Yeah, your outfit doesn't match.
That does. Oh, it does. Look at this guy.
Hi, Bill.
Hey, what's
How
going
come he
on?
gets a fucking sweatshirt?
It's not a good one.
God damn it.
And it shrank in the wash.
No, it's because you're fat bitch tits.
Yeah, you're fat. It's like no jersey fits you. I get nothing. I get nothing down here. No beer, no sweatshirts.
No beer?
My wife got a goddamn shirt. I didn't get a shirt.
You never told me a size to send you. I would have sent you a size.
Okay, it's wine night.
Hmm.
It's fine. Bill, how you feeling? Big day tomorrow. Or
Yeah, and I
today.
can't drink tonight, so it's just water.
Oh, we're going to get Billy Blah.
I can't drink, man. I gotta get cut open tomorrow. So.
Billy blah.
Billy Meh.
What do you
Yeah.
think of that, Bill? I don't care. Like, you can still smoke though, no?
Yeah, I'm high as fuck right now.
Surprise, surprise.
That is,
I'm on vacation. Leave me the fuck alone.
yeah, we could tell. You,
Yeah,
you know the amount of communication that this guy does at work compared to when he's on vacation is very different.
Oh, yeah.
We're hearing from him every half an hour when he's working. Now that he's on vacation, fucking days go by.
Uh-huh.
I don't. If I'm doing stuff, I don't touch my phone much. So I like when I look at some of these messages. There's like 30 of them. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I can't read all these.
At times,
no-
I say to myself, hey, this is probably going to piss him off. Let's just keep sending more.
No,
So
I
I
don't
do.
care. I mean, if it's like something that like seems more than sports, like I'll go back and read. But a lot of times it's just shooting the shit about a game or something, and I'm like, I'm not reading these 30 messages. I'll just fucking look it up.
Or
I'll just
show,
look the game
or
up.
show text, and he's just probably like, fuck this shit too.
Oh,
No,
these
I read them all.
guys are working hard on the show right now.
Fuck
this.
that.
I think
I'm
I
on
got a-
vacation.
I think I got half a blunt somewhere in the fucking in the couch I can find. Oh
Fucking
shit.
funny.
Well, all right. Well, we wish you luck. In all honesty, Bill, hopefully it goes well. It's not a crazy major surgery, but you got to go under.
Yeah, I'll be in. I got to be there pretty early. I think like 5:30 or 6, and then I'll be home before 11. In and out.
Oh, okay. Well then,
Nothing crazy.
if he dies, he
He
dies.
dies.
Welcome to
Just
the
throw
Simple
me in
Mind.
the trash.
Duh. I'm just gonna leave you in your apartment. Close enough. Welcome to the Simple Mind Sports Show, Wednesday edition, January 27th. Welcome to the show. Ray, nice blog. This was not in the email, but I figured we'd get it off the top so I didn't forget. Now, normally we save our baseball talk for O Dark 30 at the end, but right about now, actually, do we have the results? Do we have the...
Nothing's broken yet. no.
Nothing's broken yet. So Baseball Hall of Fame inductees should be announced any second now. Bill's already shaking his head because I'm sure he has his thoughts. But Ray, you wrote a article that I have not, or a blog that I've not been able to grammar correct yet. So if anyone goes and reads it, just keep that in mind.
If you get out of breath, tell me when you get out of breath so I can put a period, please.
when I need to breathe, a period belongs there.
Uh-huh.
The grammar guru. But why don't you give us your thoughts on Kurt Schilling and the hubbub that has come about with his right-wing nutsoism potentially keeping him out of the Hall of Fame this year?
I just think that stats alone should be what gets you into the Hall of Fame or not. Whether he was a big Trump supporter or not, or what he said stupidly about storming the Capitol. I mean, look at the NFL. Ray Lewis is an NFL Hall of Famer, and he fucking killed someone. So why these old guys... Allegedly, but why are these old guys, the BBWAA, Baseball Writers of America or whatever, why they always have this like hair across their ass because they didn't like to talk to this guy didn't like to talk to the media, or, you know, this guy was juicing. Who cares? Stats are stats. If you can back up your stats, you don't belong in the Hall of Fame. I think Kurt belongs in the Hall of Fame. His stats speak alone for himself. He has 3 World Series rings. With the 80 pitchers, he ranks right in the middle of all of them. So he deserves to be in the Hall.
Bill, I know you have your fucking thoughts on this. You've been watching it for 60 years, and this Baseball Writers Hall of Fame Association becoming a shell of them, really becoming an embarrassment of themselves for their contradictory thoughts, statements, everything they're talking about. I agree with you, Ray, on the Curt Schilling thing. These guys that wanted to take their votes back after they voted for Curt Schilling. Curt Schilling, like an asshole, said that he supported the insurrection on the Capitol. They wanted to take the votes back in protest. That's fucking stupid. Like, you cast your vote, you did it based on his career, or at least you should have. The fact that he's always been a right-wing nut, and people held against him that he said vote Bush, which was fucking stupid. I don't think general politics should be held against anybody for anything.
No.
The Trump stuff is a little bit more. He's become Dan Shaughnessy had a good way of putting it. Curt Schilling adds a real high level of asshole to his political beliefs.
Nazi shit.
He's not just a political supporter. He's a lunatic. So I can understand that. But when it comes to Hall of Fames, you're right, Ray. Like, the hypocrisy that runs across these things, and the guys that get in and the guys that don't get in, like, the bottom line, it all comes down to people, and that's who's voting. So, like, if you rubbed a guy the wrong way, especially in baseball where it's the fucking writers.
So crazy. Yeah.
And baseball, obviously we know how fucking stupid and ass backwards baseball is and has gotten in the steroid thing and everything else. So, yeah, they are. I think they're ass backwards. Schilling's 50-50 for me. I don't know. His postseason career would push him over the edge. Obviously, his regular season career doesn't really touch the Hall of Fame, but his postseason career would do it. Bill, do you have anything quickly to add to the Hall of Fame coming up here tonight?
Yeah, that was my point that you just made, Rich. His regular season's 50-50 at best. I think. I mean, he's never won a Cy Young, barely won over 200 games. You know, it's the postseason numbers that should get him in. I mean, I think he won 18 games in the postseason, some ridiculous thing, 3 World Series. I know, you know, he lost some Cy Youngs to Randy Johnson, but he was never the top 5 pitcher in either league that he was in at the time. The postseason numbers should get him in, but I just think when you think of Curt Schilling as a whole, there's too much negativity surrounding obviously his political views. So if you put him up where he's a borderline Hall of Famer to begin with, and then you kind of take that into a factor, which you shouldn't really, he might never get in. And then you're looking at Clemens. Rumors are he's not going to get in, and Bonds aren't going to get in. And those guys were all creeping up. I think Curt Schilling got close to 70% of the votes last year.
He's at 74.5 or 6 right now. 75% gets you in.
Yeah, I know. And it just, I don't know. The political shit is what's really driving people up the edge. And it's one thing to be a right-wing nut. It's another thing to condone the violence. And then, like I said, the Nazi and the Muslim shit. I mean, you got fired from ESPN for basically posting a Hitler picture going into a girl's bathroom or some bullshit like that. Like, that's the shit that it's too much in the public. Like early in his career, he was always a nut, but Twitter wasn't as big as it was now. So now you're really, really fucking seeing it. And him and Dan Shaughnessy fucking absolutely positively hate each other. And that goes back to the early 2000s. So anything that he says about Schilling, I take with a grain of salt, and vice versa, because they're both cunts.
Yeah, but you essentially just said what he said. Like the level that Schilling has brought it to has added to it's not just his political views. He's not just a heavy conservative. He's promoting violence. So, like, if Reggie Bush can have his Heisman ripped from him because he took money, like, should the baseball writers be awarding Curt Schilling a bust in Cooperstown? I can see that argument. The story that came out from the guys that wanted to take their votes back is like, I mean, I don't know, man.
That's a pussy move. You already voted for him.
You already voted for him. If you want to condemn him as a person afterwards and come out and say, yes, I voted for him based on his career, I don't think what he just said was, obviously that cannot, that is not okay. And the respect I have for him as a man is whatever, come out with whatever personal statement you want. There should just be a line, right? Like, it's either stats and that's it, or your cumulative career as a fucking human being. And if that's the case, all Hall of Fames are going to take a
big lot of us are being taken out.
You're going to have to create a wing for the dickheads. Like, the shitheads, and the entire NFL is going to be all one wing. And then it's just going to be like, I don't know. Look at Pat Summerall in his booze hounds sitting there when you walk in.
Yeah, and the Hall of Fame voting is just a joke. I mean, the writers, it's just a vendetta with the writers. I mean, that year, 99, Pedro should have won the MVP. and the 2 New York writers left him off the ballot. Derek Jeter didn't get in unanimously. Someone left him off the ballot completely. It's like, dude, this is bullshit. It's a vendetta with all these fucking assholes.
Vendetta.
What do I say? Vendetta. Sorry.
Vendetta. He's high as fuck. Leave him alone.
Live in a van down by the river.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what
you're
it
right.
is.
You're
That's
right.
exactly
It's
what it
stupid.
is. And these guys will never get in. These steroid era guys should be in. As much as I fucking hate Clemens and I hope he dies, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. As much as I hate Barry Bonds, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame on just stats alone. And, Hank Aaron's
It's
always
the eyeball test.
It is,
Bill.
dude.
It's just
disgusting.
like, did you watch the game where they players? Yes. Like, what's the impact that they had? It's the same thing. It's the same goddamn argument idiots like us have
Dude,
3
they
nights a week.
intentionally walked him with the bases loaded, Barry Bonds, just to avoid him hitting grand slams. Like,
Yeah.
he got to intentionally walk 100 times one season. That's fucking incredible.
Yeah. Like you can look at Barry Bonds and Jose Canseco and recognize a player in steroids. Yes, Barry Bonds' numbers are inflated because of steroids. No one considers him the home run king. That's good enough. Put him in the fucking Hall of Fame. He was excellent for 25 years or whatever. Jose Canseco had a blurb because he did steroids. Like, you can tell the difference. And then there'll be some fringe guys, and then fine, don't let them in. Don't let the fucking Jeff Bagwells of the world in.
Sammy
No problem.
Sosa's.
Yeah,
Sammy Sosa's. Don't let Sammy Sosa in the Hall of Fame. No problem. Roger Clemens.
He deserves to be in
Get
the
him in
Hall
the
of
Hall
Fame.
of
Roger
Fame.
Clemens is the top 5 pitcher of all time.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on. What
Yeah,
the fuck
and
are we talking about? He did steroids in his late to mid 30s so he could get back on the field and continue to pitch into his 40s. It's not like at 29 he was pumping juice into his veins, throwing 150 miles an hour. Like, just have some fucking common sense. Way too much time on baseball at the beginning of the show. This is supposed to be dark 30. It's supposed to be when the sun's going down and the sun's coming up. So let's talk real sports. Football. It's happening. Brady's in the Super Bowl. He's not playing my Bills. Unfortunately, the best case scenario that we all agreed on last show is not going to happen. He's not going to be able to rip the heart out of Buffalo this time. But hopefully, well, not hopefully. I'm not Bill here, but maybe he'll give Andy Reid a heart attack on the sideline, beating him
I hope so.
in the Super Bowl here. So quickly, let's recap this AFC East or AFC Championship game. Bills look overmatched. Josh Allen looked like a deer, and he had the fucking dumb eyes. He looked like a deer in headlights. And the Chiefs were rolling. They looked like they had been there before because they have. And Pat Mahomes looked like best quarterback in the league because he is. Tyreek Hill is faster than fucking anybody in the world. That's kind of it. I was getting texts from my father-in-law and my wife sitting next to me going, why don't they just cover him? Why don't they just cover
They
the
can't
Hill guy?
cover him.
Dude, all he does is just run straight down the field. He's disgusting. It is incredible, and no one can cover him. And even Travis Kelce had, 165 yards?
Yeah.
Dude, that offense is rolling right now. And Patrick Mahomes didn't look like he was nursing anything. That ankle injury he had looked fucking fine. Buffalo completely and utterly overmatched. They look just happy to be there. Josh Allen, first time playing in a championship game. Now starter 0-18 since Brady in 2001. So I mean, the numbers were stacked against him, and dude, they made it look like you can't be kicking field goals against Kansas City. You need to be scoring touchdowns. Oh, I just want to get the points. No, you're playing scared. You see teams do it against the New England Patriots every single year in the playoffs. They just want to take the easy points where they're not ballsy. You see Baltimore and guys like that go against the Patriots and have had success beating them in the playoffs, or the teams that take chances and aren't scared.
Philly special.
Yep, Philly special again, and right in this fucking Super Bowl. So, I mean, Buffalo's got to go for points there. You got to go for touchdowns. You can't kick field goals and expect to be basically the number one offense in football. You can't do it.
Ray, what did you think of the game?
31 unanswered points in the second quarter and third quarter. I mean, Buffalo had no shot. And if Tom Brady throws those ducks like he did against Green Bay, Kansas City is going to make you pay. I think I read a stat that the last time that Patrick Mahomes lost by more than one score was 2016 in college at Texas Tech against Iowa or something like that, or Iowa State, when he lost 66-10. So this kid doesn't like to lose. He doesn't know how to lose big. So it's going to be a competitive matchup, and I think the Chiefs are going to roll.
Well, clearly you have your Kansas City gear on right now. We'll get to a little. I don't want to go deep into the Super Bowl because we got a couple weeks before it.
Yeah, we have to go to media week
before it goes down. But Josh Allen came out and said that this game was going to motivate them or drive them. So do you believe that, or I don't. Let me just tell you right now. I don't believe that means shit. You walked into that game. You did not look like you belonged there. Um, I don't look at that as, oh, now we know what it's like. Now we got to get back. Now we got to get back. This Buffalo Bills team played at a pretty high ceiling, I think, for their talent and their quarterback. Maybe they'll get back there. Circumstances are circumstances, but I wouldn't say that they're like the next up and coming team on the Cups that are about to take over the AFC. Do you guys feel the same way? Or, I mean, obviously motivation is one thing. We can't judge that, but do you think it's going to help them, Ray, get back to the AFC Championship and maybe Super Bowl in next year or years to come?
Well, the first time in over 20 years, they're going to be playing the hardest schedule in the AFC East because they are now the one seed in the AFC East. Like the Patriots have years and years and years in a row. They always play the tougher opponents, so they're going to have a tougher schedule than the Patriots. We're going to have the third seeds in every division that we play. So Buffalo's going to be playing some tough competition coming up. We'll see how their schedule goes out. But yeah, it's going to be a tough way for them to go back to the AFC. If they can do it again next year and get to this point, then yeah, it's a different team. But I don't think they're going to be able to handle that. That's going to be a lot of hard games they're going to have to go against.
Yeah, it's a great point. And you're going to be able to see, not to go all homer here, but the greatness of what the Patriots did. Taking on everybody's best shot every single game, every single year. You can sneak up on anybody. Not saying that the Bills did maybe towards the end of last year. I think people took them seriously, but the tape on Josh Allen. Stephon Diggs is a guy that has never stayed healthy an entire season. He did this year for the most part. Don't expect that to be a norm. Cole Beasley is one concussion away from fucking the Wes Welker treatment.
Can I interrupt you real quick? Did you hear that he played on a broken fucking leg?
Yeah, the whole season.
No, the last two games or whatever.
Disgusting.
Yeah. Sign that kid up. Hey, Gordon Hayward, check that out.
Fucking glass Beasley over there. All right, Bill. So Bucks are in the Super Bowl, first time ever a team is going to host the Super Bowl, and wouldn't you know it, Tom Brady is going to be the guy to do it. Let me just give you some key points. So I don't want to go too far into the Super Bowl, but give me your thoughts here. So we got Brady Mahomes as a storyline, obviously the elder and the up and comer. Chiefs on the verge of their own dynasty. Everyone knows you got to get 3 Super Bowls to be considered a dynasty. At least I'd say 5 years. I saw tickets for the lower bowl are going for $22,000 a piece.
My buddy's a Chiefs fan. Sent me something today that he had tickets that were $84,000.
Well, they're letting 22,000 people into a stadium that holds over 60. So you got to imagine that and no one's been able to go to a football game.
Yeah.
They're free tickets for nurses or frontline healthcare workers that have been vaccinated. So 7,500 of those are just free.
Good for them. Good for the NFL doing something right for once. Or is that the Bucks? Probably the NFL, right?
The
NFL, yeah.
All right, Bill, what's your initial thoughts here going into Super Bowl week? Oh, and we learned today, I don't know if you guys heard this, the Chiefs they're not going, it's not a regular Super Bowl. They're not going down until Friday. 2 days before the game.
Yeah.
So we talked about this in a prior show. What's the Super Bowl experience going to be like? I don't think it's going to be very good, obviously, but the whole thing was, this is another Patriots thing. They had been to so many, they know how to handle the week, they know how to do the schedules, yada yada yada. So I think that point is moot. You had Brady on the Bucs side and the Chiefs on the other side that have both been through it, and now the Chiefs won't be there till Friday night or whatever.
Yeah.
So, all right, what are your boys' initial thoughts on Super Bowl coming up here?
I mean, just to get the team a home game, especially circumstances like this right now. Again, Kansas City's not flying into a Friday. That's awesome. Everything, all the media availability is all virtual. The whole media week, all virtual this year. Tampa Bay's just sitting there at home, just gearing up for a game. No traveling, nothing. I mean, shit, it's the first time ever. And God damn it, how fitting it is that's fucking Tom Brady. Tom fucking Brady's been to his 10th Super Bowl, 5 more than anybody else. He's been to 5 Super Bowls since he's turned 37. He's played in 4 of the last 5 Super Bowls. He's 43 years old. How fucking insane is that? And it's so fitting that he's playing in the Super Bowl at home. It sucks that it's not with the Patriots, but it's fucking incredible.
It's stupid. The home field advantage thing, like, it would be such a bigger story if COVID wasn't here, because of how limiting it's going to be. But I think that your point, Bill, that Tampa's going to sit back at home. So the Chiefs. Chiefs going to be at
Yeah.
home all week.
Well, I know. I mean, I'm
All
talking
for 2
about just
weeks.
travel. I mean, they're still traveling.
Probably
but
what,
you
a
know
2-hour
I mean?
flight though? I mean, who cares?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
think think about the advantage that it would have been in a regular year. 2 weeks the Chiefs would have been in a hotel room dealing with everything that goes on for the Super Bowl, media in your face every second of every single day, and the Bucks would have been able to go home and sleep in their
Every
own
night.
bed every
Yeah, that's
night.
true.
And this year, then is completely wiped out. If you're a fan of competitive advantage, it's great because I think the Bucks competitive advantage has been null and void, especially with tickets going for 84 grand. How many fucking bums in Tampa are going to be able to afford that? Probably not a lot. Not like bums can afford to go to the Super Bowl that much anyway. It's so fucking expensive. But I think that, that the whole storyline of the first team ever getting to host a Super Bowl is kind of out the window, honestly.
Well, how fitting is it also that the Chiefs opened up -3 in Vegas? So I guess Vegas is even taking Kansas City, so I don't think the home field advantage is going to play too much in effect. But yeah, it's going to be a high-scoring game. Both these guys can score. I mean, I think it's going to take the over. Whatever the over is, just fucking throw 100 on it because it's probably going to be well over that because high-powered offenses, it's going to be like the Rams when the Rams and Chiefs played in Mexico. Just touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. None of these defenses are going to be able to contain anyone, so I think it's going to be an exciting Super Bowl.
Touchdowns late. Kansas City loves to score late, like you said. 31 unanswered in the second and third.
Yeah.
If we're doing predictions, which we can do later, but I'd expect Brady to get up on top and then the Chiefs to come back. We'll talk a little bit more about details later, but I want to get into the meat of this show. The quarterback carousel in the NFL is becoming the top story in sports in the next coming months. With baseball spring training starting, the the hypothetical NFL quarterback carousel is going to take headlines every single goddamn day. So we have Aaron Rodgers, obviously, his initial comments after the game on Sunday were not great, kind of throwing his coach under the bus for that field goal instead of a touchdown attempt. Said he was not sure about his future with the Packers directly after the game. And then news today, Monday, what's today? Tuesday. Today, Aaron Rodgers has come out and said that he wants a new contract. He signed technically through 2023. He has an opt-out after next year, 2021. All of his guaranteed money is gone. He has a $34 million cap hit, something like that. He's 38, and he wants another contract. So
Brady situation all over again.
Yeah, pretty much. Except he's not Brady because he just fucking lost to Brady, who's 43, and he's 1-4 in championships games. So let me throw this at you and get your thoughts. Obviously, we want to look at this as it comes to the Patriots, but just let me hear what you think. So you got Aaron Rodgers, who the team has come out and said they're not trading him. They're not idiots, but it's really not up to them. It's up to Aaron Rodgers. Deshaun Watson, who is all but gone somewhere. Matt Stafford, who was politely asked to leave Detroit finally after a decade of getting his ass kicked. Jimmy Garoppolo, who has been quit on by the 49ers over the past 2 years. That is Bill Belichick's binky. And then some other guys that are out there that I do not want, but need to believe they belong on the list. Mitch Trubisky, top 10 pick, will be a free agent, I think. Top 3 pick, you're right. Gardner Minshew, who wasn't even fucking close, but drips sex and has won some games and just looks like a player that could play. He'll be out there probably. Cam Newton will probably be out there, and Carson Wentz if the Eagles decide to trade him. I'm sure there's some other guys floating around. Adam Schefter came out today and said that as many as 18 teams might have new quarterbacks.
Yeah, there's only 10 teams that are locked into quarterbacks entering the offseason right now. That's incredible.
It's crazy. Go ahead, Ray.
Breaking news.
Whoa. This better be good. What is it?
Nobody has been elected to the 2021 Baseball Hall of Fame.
Get out.
What a bunch of fucking
shilling,
old
71%.
bitch tit assholes.
Dude, Bonds and Clemens got one more year on the ballot, and that's it.
And then do you know who's up next year? A-Rod, Jeter? I think it's A-Rod.
No, Jeter's already in.
Oh, so it's A-Rod and someone else that has their first time being elected.
Yeah, A-Rod's not going to get in. If Clemens and Bonds aren't getting in, A-Rod, who's been popped and suspended twice for steroids, is...
And next year is their 10th and final year on the ballot. If they don't get in, they don't get in.
They'll amend that. They'll get in eventually. It'll just take people our age to get into those voting, and then they'll fix it.
Well, they'll do the with the Veterans Committee years down the line. They do it all the time. And I'll tell you what, though, this is how Jim Rice got in. He was on about 15 years. He's basically the reason they changed the rule from 15 to 10. That piece of shit got in year 15.
Okay, let's save it for ODark 30. Can we please talk about the NFL quarterback situation, which should be a fucking doozy? Like you said, Bill, 10 teams are locked in. That leaves, like Schefter said, as many as 18 with quarterback changes. Now, that includes teams like the Jaguars and the Jets, who should be drafting quarterbacks and things like that. But teams that are in need or technically in need of a quarterback could be the Patriots, 49ers, Texans, Lions, Bears, your Washington football team, Ray, all teams that –
don't forget the Saints either.
The Saints, good one.
Jaguars. I mean, I know they're going to take
Jaguars won't. They'll be drafting. These are teams that are, later on that are either getting rid of a quarterback in need of one, or that's pretty much the scenario. So, what does this say? What does this say to you, Raymond? Go. The floor is yours.
Last year, we thought that was a big quarterback carousel with everyone changing teams. This one's going to be even bigger names. You got fucking Aaron Rodgers. You got Deshaun Watson. These are top quarterbacks in the league right now. I mean, it's going to be very interesting, and it's going to make baseball look stupid because these free agents are going to go like that within the first week of NFL free agency. These guys are all going to be going to a different team or prior to the draft. So, I mean, NFL offseason is probably the most exciting thing in all of sports, just watching that shit unfold. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the Patriots can do.
Well, these guys are freezing their tits off in April, hitting stingers into right field. We're going to be worrying about where our Aaron Rodgers is going. Sorry, baseball, you fucked up again. Bill, what's your thought on the quarterback carousel coming up here?
It's crazy. I mean, we've never seen something like this in our lifetime. And you talk about some talented teams that are looking for quarterbacks. New Orleans is one, and they could get it. And even the 49ers, when healthy, just went to the Super Bowl last year. So, I mean, they're right there, too. And even though I don't know if you mentioned this, but the Colts, who just had it.
Colts, another one, yeah.
Phillip Rivers retire. That team has a very good defense, and they're very well coached from Frank Wright. So, I mean, there's a lot of talented teams. You usually see really bad teams looking for quarterback play. I mean, that a lot of these teams don't switch quarterback. Yeah, Patriots. But, I mean, if you think of these franchise quarterbacks, even going back to Big Ben, Eli, even Rivers up until this point, and Brady at the same time, they stay with their teams. Drew Brees, I know he switched teams, but he's been with the fucking New Orleans Saints since 2006. Now you're seeing it this year where your 10 teams are locked in. You never see this. You never see this many talented quarterbacks go hit the open market. So it's like, are we seeing the new norm now where these teams are actually, instead of signing these long-term deals, they're going to try to make their either force their way out or just test the market now? Because it's incredible how many teams need quarterbacks. I don't know if it's saying, but the quarterback talent in the NFL is just completely trash, or if it's they just trying to they see what the NBA does and then switching teams, and this is what the guys want to do.
That's more where I
quickly
think.
too. I mean, with the salary cap being adjusted next year too, you could see Atlanta looking for a new quarterback. Dallas, you don't know what they're going to do with Dak, if he's going to be healthy or not, if they're going to franchise him, give him a new deal. There's more teams that could be looking for a quarterback.
Miami, don't sleep on Miami.
Miami as well. Are they going to take Tua, or are they going to go and get someone else? There's so many other teams that are questionable right now that it's going to be interesting to see what happens and how this all plays out.
Yeah, and one we didn't even mention, I don't mean to cut you off, Rich, is the Rams. They keep saying Jared Goff is our quarterback for at the moment. McVay might just say fuck it. Who else they had that they kind of can win with? McVay, you saw him in Hard Knocks. Goff in Hard Knocks never called a play in his life from the line of scrimmage ever. And then McVay is whispering in his ear till 15 seconds in the play clock to say, hey, this is what defense is coming, because he can't read a defense.
Steelers are too. Steelers is another one that you're hearing the possible destination for Deshaun Watson, because they don't know what Big Ben's going to do.
Ben's coming
back. There's a lot of goddamn teams. The point is there's 18 teams, according to Schefter, that could be changing quarterbacks.
It's crazy.
My thing, couple things here. Bill, I think your NBA point is good. The quarterbacks are getting the power of NBA players because the game has evolved to the point where the quarterback is the most important player on the field to an exponential point. Which to me is not good for a team, for a sport like football. The quarterback should not be as important as they are, but it is. That's what it is right now. That's what it is in this sport.
Sports.
That's what you're going to see out of Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is going to dictate where he wants to go. If Aaron Rodgers wants to stay in Green Bay, he will. If he doesn't, he'll move, and then it'll be up to the Packers to take the best deal available to them. and Watson. Watson and Aaron Rodgers control their fate, to a lesser extent Stafford. And that's where it comes in for the Patriots, because instead of now, where we thought maybe Stafford, maybe Jimmy Garoppolo are your best shots at quarterback next year, I think those are still your best shots at quarterback, and Jimmy Garoppolo is probably your guy. But the best case scenario for the Patriots is guys that are better than Jimmy Garoppolo just came on the market and just pushed that market way down for the Patriots to go get themselves a quarterback that they think can improve their team, which compared to Cam Newton is pretty much fucking anybody. But I think that Jimmy Garoppolo is really the easy answer here, the simple answer here, the cheapest answer. He fits every single check, every box, which makes me a little bit nervous now, because we saw how Bill handled the quarterback position last year. He fucked it up. So now if you can't go get your little binky, your little baby bitch boy, Jimmy Garoppolo, that you made a $20 million player, if he doesn't want to come here, if that can't happen, shit, I might have to become a fucking Bucks fan. Like,
Stafford.
God damn it, Bill.
Give me Matthew Stafford.
I think his market's going to get too high now, Bill.
Yeah, I agree, because I don't mean to cut you off, but Schefter did come out like an hour ago and basically said like teams are already talking about it.
Every single fucking team in the league is on Matt Stafford.
So, and this goes back to the quarterback carousel, is what we're just talking about here. The price to trading for any of these guys is going to be sky high, because a minimum of 18 teams need quarterbacks. If there's truly only 10 teams that are locked in, you're looking at 22 teams that are going to look to upgrade the quarterback position. So, I mean, the price is going to be insane. You might see Matthew Stafford go for a fucking first round draft pick. And if you're the Patriots, if you're sitting there at 15 and Garoppolo and Stafford are there for a first round draft pick, you're going to be hard pressed not to give up that first round pick to go out and get the quarterback. Because, I mean, at this point in time, is what you're going to get at 15 going to be more valuable than a truly a franchise quarterback, which I think Matthew Stafford is. Yeah, he's been murdered in Detroit, but he's a franchise quarterback that's only 32 years old. The same thing with Garoppolo. I mean, that's worth it. And that might be what it takes to go out and get one of these guys, because the price is going to be so high.
But where I come from is I think Belichick has his eye on Garoppolo, and I think it's only his eye as on Garoppolo.
I think Garoppolo and Stafford.
But I think Garoppolo can slip through the cracks of what you're talking about, Bill. I think Watson, Stafford, and Aaron Rodgers are about to set the market. And Jimmy G he's a defranchised asset at this point. The 49ers didn't like him. They didn't use him. He has major injury concerns, major injury history. I don't think he's going to demand that high end. And if he was the only guy out there, maybe he might. But you have three other guys above him that are going to demand more than him. And I think that's like the ideal spot for Bill Belichick to swoop in and get a guy for a third round pick, or what. Maybe they swap the second again that 49ers gave him just as a John Lynch handshake deal. Here we go. Raymond, I see.
What about Stephon Gilmore? You can hold him as a trade resource, you know.
Sure.
Yeah, you could. Sure. I was just reading today.
You can put it out there, whatever.
I was reading.
But yeah, you could do him in a third rounder or something like that and get whatever quarterback you want.
Well, it sounds like they're going to try to keep him. It sounds like they're already kind of working towards something. They're putting out there money. But yeah, Rich, real quick on Jimmy G, the relationship between Lynch and Shanahan. You remember they gift wrapped Jimmy G to put him specifically in a situation where he was going to flourish.
Shanahan never wanted him.
Well, Lynch did. But either way, Bill put him in a situation where Jimmy G would flourish because he loves the kid. You give him back. If you're looking to upgrade Matthew Stafford, I mean, you're going to give up maybe a first-round pick, go get some kind of draft capital and get Jimmy G, because all indications are Detroit wants to completely and utterly start over, so they don't want the players back. They'd rather take the picks. So, I mean, you're looking at a two-move deal right in there. If the 49ers
same with the Packers, if Aaron Rodgers decides to move, they have their quarterback. So
they get Jordan
not going to Green Bay.
Then
I would
he's not going anywhere.
Look, that's where, from a Patriots standpoint, from a Patriots fan, seeing what Bill Belichick has done, he's not going to pay Aaron Rodgers what Aaron Rodgers wants to be paid. He also, in his best interest, should not bring a 38-year-old quarterback in when he just pushed out a 40-year-old quarterback who's about to win a Super Bowl in spite of him. That would be the worst case scenario. I know Aaron Rodgers is excellent. Seeing him in Patriots uniform would be exciting, but that's a fucking bad move from Belichick. Yep. Matt Stafford would be great. It would be awesome, but I don't think that Bill Belichick is going to be willing to give up the draft capital to get him. And frankly, he shouldn't, because his roster sucks. So he has to build from the inside out. Jimmy Garoppolo was his fucking guy. That and Deshaun Watson, forget it. You're not even close.
You're not going to mortgage your future.
Like the all of the arrows point to Garoppolo, which is why for me the pressure is mounting. If you can't get him now, it's a fail. If you go into next offseason like you went into, if you go into this offseason like you went in next offseason and go through the whole thing and nothing comes of it, and then you're just fishing out of the fucking trash heap, or Jared Stidham starting to fail, and you're probably looking at 7-9 again. We just saw it. So it's Jimmy G or bust for me right now. That's it. That's the move. If you now, Bill, if you can get Stafford, I do it. I think he's better than Jimmy G. We've had this discussion, but I just don't. That's not where the Patriots will land in this, I don't believe.
No, I'm 1A and 1B on Stafford and Garoppolo. I'd be happy with both of them, and I've said it before. Those should be the two targets. I think Garoppolo would probably fit a little bit better in this offense if he could stay healthy, but just the toughness and the skill set that Matthew Stafford brings. He was the number 1 overall pick for a reason. I think there's 2 quarterbacks in NFL history that have thrown for 45,000 yards and under 150 interceptions, and Matthew Stafford and Aaron Rodgers are each one of those quarterbacks. So, I mean, the skill level...
Rain Man.
The skill level is there. So obviously, if you can get it for a decent price, he should be your target. But Garoppolo is a good fallback option at definitely a cheap.
I'm not even at a good price. At a slight overpayment, I'll take Stafford. But
me too.
I think it's Garoppolo. All right, we got to move on because we're running late here. Raymond, Celtics win 119-103. No Kemba. First game back for Tatum after 2.5 weeks. 5-game missed. Look good, man.
31 minutes, I believe, right?
31 minutes. So Tatum and Brown both had 21 shots. They had 24 points and 26 points, respectively, both right around 50% shooting and right at 30 minutes of time. Raymond, I'm going to throw this to you. This is a developing intake that I sent you. And I know that this is opposite of what you think. But I think Brad Stevens has developed, molded, and made a system and culture for Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown to become efficiency monsters. Monsters. Now, let me say it before I kick it to you. That has not translated in big games at the end of the fourth quarter that they've all shit the bed, but they are in their early 20s. And if you remember what we were doing in our early 20s, God forbid, put us on a fucking basketball court with 30 seconds left. So think about that. But I'm like, Jesus, fuck, 50% shooting, 30 minutes. They both took 21 shots, 24 points, 26 points. The game was never in doubt, and they didn't have their third best player in Kemba Walker, and they're both excellent defensively. Brad Stevens, and it's their offense that they're flowing through. Let's give a little credit to Brad Stevens this show because we shit on him so much. Would you agree or disagree?
I totally agree. And the only other thing you didn't mention, Marcus Smart, only 8 shots. 5 for 8.
Perfect game from Smart. 13 points, 11 assists, 5 boards, 26 minutes, 8 shots. Great defense. Nice hustle plays.
And Kemba's not playing, so usually when Kemba doesn't play, he has to take that Allen Iverson. I'm better than everyone. I'm going to shoot, jack it up. He didn't. If this is the new Celtics going forward, I'm all for it.
Yeah, nice game. And we also got a nice game out of Peach Baskets. Shot the ball well, 3 for 5 from 3. Played some nice defense there.
Yeah.
Bill, I want to get your Oh Dark 30 thoughts because we missed you last time. And we only have a couple minutes here. So Red Sox have made a quote-unquote series of moves. We had the big one that I know you like, so I'll get your thought on this. Adam Ottavino trade. Sox get Ottavino. Am I pronouncing that right? Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
they also get $850,000. They also get a pitching prospect in Jaman, who is a 98-mile-an-hour flamethrower. Does Heim Bloom deserve some credit at this point? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Yankees were looking to dump him. He pitched 18 1/3 last year, 12 runs. In the shortened season. I don't really take a lot of that into consideration. It's more the 2019 when he was a stud for the Yankees, and that basically they had 4 closers. I like it. He could potentially, probably should close for you. I think him and Matt Barnes is kind of a decent back end of your bullpen that should be able to close out some games. And I know you hate him, Ryan Brazier. You're probably going to bring him back. I know I'm not a huge fan of him, but he did pitch fairly well. So I mean, I like it. Brad Hand, I probably would have had him at more money because if you kind of look at the money deal, it's basically going to cost the Red Sox about $11 million. Yankees owed him $3 million in a signing bonus. So I mean, if you put it there, yeah, you probably want to go with the younger at Brad Hand. But yeah. I like the move. You finally address the bullpen, which you definitely needed to do.
All right. Well, look, let's extend this Oh Dark 30 a couple minutes here. But until then, this has been the Simple Minds Sports Show, Wednesday edition, January 27th. We will see you on Friday.
I'll see you on Friday. I
I'll
won't
see you on
Thursday.
Friday.
Well, Thursday.
Thursday.
But we won't see Bad Wing on Thursday, Friday.
We're all going to not see Badwing until he's better again. So everybody send your prayers to Billy Badwing.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye forever. I didn't mean that, Barry.
Just throw me in the trash.
I like
AKA
his
place.
Bill's corpse from the morgue is just standing up in a trash bin outside of Queen's Landing. Slightly frozen, like Han Solo. Frank Ra- Oh, you're gonna have some weather in the morning, right?
Yeah, I think so. Dude, I can't even. It's just like I have to call him from the parking lot. She's just gonna drop me off, and then you're just gonna call her, and she's gonna come pick me up. It's so different this year. It's ridiculous.
It's funny that you know the year-to-year difference between shoulder surgeries.
January 17th last year, and it's January 27th this year.
He doesn't have a jerk off this year, and he's not going to hurt himself again. Jesus, that's how he knows.
I learned to jerk off my left hand a long time ago for anything reasons for this.
There
If
you
something
go.
ever happened to the right arm, I want to be roaring to go with my left.
Ambidextrous.
Yeah, only when I
He's a-
jack off. That's it. I can't do anything else with my left hand, but I can sure
He's a
bust a nut with
planner.
it.
He's a planner, Ray. He thinks ahead.
That's right.
Okay, quickly here. I want to get some extended Dark 30 thoughts from Billy Baseball before he goes under the knife. So let's finish our thoughts on the moves here. So we had Kiki Hernandez, we had Garrett Richards. We didn't get your total thoughts on Bill. We got the text, which I think sums it up. His arm's falling off, and fuck him, I think is what you said.
No, Garrett Richards scares me. That arm, he's had elbow and shoulder issues. I believe he had Tommy John surgery 3 years ago. Before that, he tried to nurse his way back by some stem cell treatments in the elbow, which all these guys are trying before Tommy John. But it scares me. At $10.5 million, it's a 1-year deal. It's the 2013 model, which we've kind of mentioned before. This is the way you're going, but I wish they would have been in on Kluber at 11 million. My gut is saying they probably weren't, because if you had your choice, why wouldn't you go to the Yankees, who are ready to compete for a championship, which Kluber does not have? So I mean, they probably
So
weren't
they probably were in, but he picked the Yankees.
Yeah,
because
so
they were
that's what I'm
rumored to be
saying.
in.
Yeah,
That's what
no.
Ray and I talked about. They've been in on everybody. Are they flaking on these guys and then settling for the next? Look, they've made 5 moves total, I guess, technically, right? They had
a couple.
They had
good
Renfro.
parts.
They had the what's the pitcher's name that they fucking got, starts with an A?
I don't even remember.
number
They
4.
signed.
They're the deepest fucking pitching staff for number 3 and 4 starters in the goddamn league. That is locked in. That's a guarantee. And then they got Garrett Richards at 10 million, Kiki Hernandez at 7 million for 2, and then they made the trade for Ottavino. So that's their best move. I agree with you. That's their best move. He's the highest upside. He's 35. They basically bought him off the Yankees. If he pans out or if he doesn't pan out, you can flip him for prospects, which I think is what Heimblum's trying to do. Let me throw this one more at you, and Ray, I'll get your thoughts, then go back to Billy to end it. Benintendi has not been traded yet. We talked about this at some point. We probably think because they're not getting the prospects in return that they want for him, which should be not the highest of end, but good prospects, decent prospects. His 2020 shit season is probably not letting that happen. So don't be surprised if you see Benintendi get in a Red Sox uniform, get his stats up, showcase himself, and then get moved by the deadline. What else am I forgetting? Chavez should be a trade target for the Red Sox, and maybe Chavis, and then maybe Vasquez. But I like Vasquez. I don't want him to move Vasquez unless it's for something serious.
They almost tried to with Marlin. So I mean, you could. Sorry, I mean, I know it's your turn, right? But you could kind of revisit that with Vasquez and Benintendi, who both been linked to the Marlins. Marlins are trying to compete in that NL East now, especially if the rumor with Trevor Bauer rumored to be offered to the Mets. I mean, those are disgusting with the Nats. The Braves made a lot of moves after coming in the NL Championship, and now the Mets. I mean, if they go
We'll
out
get
and sign
to it,
Trevor
Bill.
Bauer,
The Marlins were into it, and the Rangers were also high on it. And the Rangers have a ton of pitching prospects, which I think Heimblum was really into. So, welcome to O Dark 30 Baseball Talk. Why don't you just give me your quick synopsis and your thoughts on this quote unquote series of moves the Red Sox have made here, and they promise that more is to come.
Yeah, they're done. They're not going to. I believe you sent you sent us the thing about 14 million they had, and with this last signing with was what 10 million. So basically,
Yeah, they got about 5 million left.
5 million to play with. Yeah, they're done. They're done. You're not going to see anything else. This is your group going into 2021 right here. This roster, and it's not going to compete. You're not going to beat the Yankees. You're not going to beat Toronto, and you're probably not even going to beat Tampa. So you're going to be in the 4th, 5th seed coming out of the AL East, and John Henry's going to be like, "Well, we made moves. It just didn't work out."
yeah, and this Kiki Hernandez deal, he's just a more athletic Brock Holt at triple the price that you could have brought Brock Holt back at. So, $7 million for a utility guy is no bueno in my eyes. Ugh. You know,
Yeah,
but the moves you had to
huge
make.
on
This is the moves you had to make. So
it's what was there. It's the shit heap deal.
It's the shit.
It's
You
a shit
waited.
heap
This
deal.
is what happens when you wait until almost February.
Well, this is what I've been saying to you guys. You know, what's the years? It's all 1 and 2 year shit.
Yeah,
it's all
just
1 and
fine.
2 year
I'm
shit.
fine with the moves.
I'm
It's
fine
just,
with it too,
ugh.
Bill. It's the 2013. You bring guys in that have something to prove, that are older, that have something to prove. They know how to be professionals. They're not assholes. They come in. They want to play. I don't disagree with you that they're not going to be competitive against the Yankees and probably Toronto, Ray, because those guys' rosters are so much better than the Red Sox. But I don't expect that their pitching staff should be as truly abysmal as it was last year, which was bottom 3 in the entire MLB. I think with their number 3, with their deepest staff of number 3 and 4 stars in the league, that they can be inning eaters and they can do things. If now these are big ifs, same as last year, but if Eduardo Rodriguez can come back and pitch okay, if Nathan Eovaldi, if Eovaldi can give you some decent, decent chunk of the season, and if Martin Perez can give you a decent chunk of the season like you did at the end of last year, then you're talking about an okay team that may be able to push for a wild card depending on the rest of the league. Don't forget the AL sucks. So the Red Sox, if their pitching staff can just be okay, and their bullpen bolstered by Ottavino can hold down games instead of blowing every fucking game in the 6th or 7th inning, then they'll be all right. They'll be competitive, and that's all I'm asking for. And give me a championship team in a year or two. That's it. That's all I'm asking for.
And one last thing on like Benintendi's value, Germain, you just got back in this Ottavino deal. That's probably what around the value. I think he was either 20th or 23rd ranked prospect in the Yankee system, 2018 4th round pick. So you're probably looking at that value in return. And right now, I don't see a big need to move him if that's what you're going to get in return, truthfully. So I mean, if you can you're going to get more value if he starts between now and then.
Raymond.
A little bit of breaking news. Curt Schilling is done with the Hall of Fame voting. Says, I defer to the Veterans Committee and men whose opinions actually matter.
Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him. Fuck Curt Schilling. Bloody
I
sock
love
will
it.
go down in
I
history,
love
but
it.
what a sourpuss douchebag. All right, couple less baseball thoughts here. Let's do, before we get to Trevor Bauer signing, let me get your opinion on this one, Bill. MLBPA rejects the offer for the universal DH and expanded playoffs. The expanded playoffs was pushed by the owners to try and recoup. Thank you, Raymond. Some of the money that they lost. Yeah, well, jot that one down. Put that down in your crayon ledger. To recoup, and keep in mind, I'm a bottle of wine in about 15 minutes. To recoup some of the money that they lost because of COVID and no one in the stands. We know what the gate does for baseball. And in return, they would give the players universal DH to essentially add a roster spot to NL teams and give hitters one more chance to earn some money. And the players said no.
Players
Why?
They're fucking assholes, dude. The universal DH in the 60-game schedule last year was fucking awesome. You saw guys like Ozuna with the Braves, $16 million basically to play DH. You have a guy like JD Martinez this year is making $25 million to play DH. I get it's the American League, but you can add power. It makes the game more fun, especially in the National League where your number 9 hitter is not your fucking pitcher. I get it. Guys like fucking the guy from the Giants who could hit fucking home runs. I forget Bumgarner who can hit fucking home runs. I get it, but dude, come on, make the leagues the same. There should be no reason the leagues differ so goddamn much. You want to excite fans again? Get rid of the fucking pitchers hitting and put some fucking real players in there. It opens up more free agency and gets these players more money, and they're too stupid to fucking realize it. Goddamn joke.
The Players Association just will not agree to anything it's just negotiation. It has nothing to do with the game.
It all goes back to last summer, and it's fucking horseshit.
It has nothing to do with the game. It has nothing to do with their players. They basically just boned, a half a dozen hitters out of a position in the NL. All because what? You didn't want to make more money playing in the playoffs for a chance to a championship? What the fuck is wrong with the Major League Baseball Players Association? Sucks. I get that we should be team players in all of these professional leagues because the owners are all rich white dudes trying to shove their shit down people's throats. Not baseball. These players are fucking assholes, man. And they're just being assholes to be assholes. That's it. That being said, I hate the DH. I think it would be way more fun if nobody had DH. And you make these pitchers hit. A lot of other things have to happen. You have to expand the strike zones. You have to get bunting back in the game. You have to make that 9 spot an actual usable hitting spot in the game and make pitchers bunt to play small ball. All of that would need to happen. If that didn't, I'm with you, Bill. Make all the DHs. But either way, the bottom line in this story is the Major League Baseball Players Association are a bunch of fucking assholes. That's it. Trevor Bauer benefited from this because the association got him a shit ton of money. Nothing's
official. Nothing's official yet, but it's going to be close to a Garrett Cole deal, but for probably half the years. And the money's probably going to be around 33 to 35. Garrett signed for 9 for 364 last year, $36 million. It's going to come in right under that. But Jesus, short-term deal, man, is disgusting for a 30-year-old pitcher like that. And again, I mentioned it a couple minutes ago that the DeGrom, Bauer, Carrasco at 1, 2, 3 is disgusting with Marcus Stroman there and then Syndergaard coming back. This is what you need in the NL East now. You just saw Brad Hand go to the Nats. Steve Cohen's going to spend money. He's the richest owner in baseball, and these are the moves you make. You just went out and got the best player available at this year in Lindor. You're about to sign him probably to a record contract. He's got deep pockets. Go out and get the best pitcher available. And now you go from, third team in the East to potentially the number 1 team in the East and maybe top 3, 4 team in all of the NL behind the Dodgers and Padres. This is a move they need to make, and it's smart. Go spend that fucking money. Should make Nets fans happy.
Raymond?
Yeah, I mean, you got money, you might as well spend. You're in the same market as the New York Yankees, and in order to beat the Yankees, you got to compete. You got to pay these players. So yeah, Cohen's going out there doing it. It's going to be an exciting time. Like I've been messaging you guys today. I mean, the NL East is loaded right now, and Cohen realized that, and he's just spending away. It'd be nice to see a guy that owns the Boston Globe do something like that, but to each his own.
Well, okay, hold on. The Red Sox are spending. They're spending right to the cap, which is basically what the Mets are doing. The Mets have not done that because the Wilbons were cheap as fuck. Uh-huh. So John Henry is not totally cheap. He just runs a bad baseball organization. When it comes to the Mets, this is exactly what Steve Ballmer has to do. You just bought a team. You have to dump money into the team. Sorry, I keep doing that. Steve Cohen, you have to dump this money in the team, and that's fine. That's all well and good. The track record for all-star teams like this made in baseball is not great. These teams generally don't win, so keep that in mind. And also the Trevor Bauer signing, I've been suspect on this guy from the jump. He's a certified lunatic. And you're going to give him $34 to $40 million a year for 4 years guaranteed in New York City. Ooh.
Who's that pitcher that went AWOL? Who went AWOL for the Mets?
Oh, the Dark
Dwight
Knight.
Howard.
The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight.
Oh, fuck. What was his name?
David.
No.
Not David Wright. That was the third baseman.
But I see something.
Matt
Harvey.
Matt Harvey. That's That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen with Bauer.
New York does bad things to bad people. And Trevor Bauer is not, he's not mentally stable. But he was filthy last year. He was filthy the year before that. He was pretty good in Cleveland. He chopped his finger off with a goddamn flying airplane in the playoffs drone in Cleveland. So if I've been saying this as a Red Sox fan, I would not have given that guy $30 million for 4 years at 30 years old. If you wanted to come in for 1 year and be an entertainment factor, fine. Good luck to the Mets. Hopefully he has his head screwed on straight. And if he does, then they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. If he doesn't, 4 years.
It's going to be entertaining for us.
It'll be all right. It'll be all right. Before we end, I would just like to say that tonight's show was actually lubricated by White Birch Brewing out of Nashua, New Hampshire, one of the best brewing companies in New Hampshire. The tap room's open. Okay, they're doing cans to go. They're doing pints. Be safe with the COVID shit, but also they're doing production elsewhere. So if you see it in the stores, please buy it. Get yourself a 4-pack. They're doing sours. They're doing Berlin devices. They're doing big Belgian quads. They're getting really creative with their craft beer stuff, and anybody who appreciates that can appreciate what it takes to make that type of product. So please support White Birch Brewing. Tonight was lubricated by them. Okay, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.